I said yes many times when I knew I should have been saying no, and then I would be mad at myself for saying yes. You say yes, then you're mad when they come back again. Because when you say yes, when you really mean no, people follow the intention of the yes. Because why do you say yes? You say yes because you don't want the person to be upset with you. They're not. You don't want the person to be angry. You want the person to think you're nice. They do. And that is why they keep coming back.
The courage to say no. The discipline to say no. The wisdom to say no. The strength to say no. Take a good look at any successful person, any truly fulfilled person. They all have this quality. The courage to say no when they must say no.
Welcome back to Motivation for Her, the channel dedicated to empowering, inspiring, and uplifting women from all walks of life. Today, we're diving into a topic that so many of us struggle with, but is absolutely essential to living a balanced and fulfilled life: mastering the art of saying no. One simple word, yet for some of us, saying this word feels like climbing Mount Everest. But here's the thing: saying no isn't selfish, and it isn't mean. It's a powerful act of self-preservation. It's about protecting your time, your energy, and your well-being. And trust me, learning to say no can change your life. So grab a notebook, settle in, and let's get started. Let's start with the obvious question: why is it so hard to say no? For many of us, especially as women, we've been conditioned to be people pleasers. From a young age, we're taught to prioritize others' feelings, avoid confrontation, and be nice. So when someone asks for our time, energy, or resources, our instinct is to say yes, even if it's at the expense of our own well-being. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But here's the catch: every time you say yes to something you don't truly want or need to do, you're saying no to yourself, no to your goals, no to your rest, no to your peace of mind. Think about that for a second. How many times have you said yes out of guilt, obligation, or fear of disappointing someone, only to regret it later? This is what we're here to change today. Now, let's talk about what happens when you say yes too often. Saying yes to everything and everyone may seem harmless at first, but over time, it leads to burnout, resentment, and a loss of control over your own life. Your schedule fills up with tasks and commitments that don't align with your priorities, leaving little to no time for what truly matters. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've planned to spend your Saturday working on a passion project or just relaxing. Then, a friend calls and asks if you can help them move. You feel guilty, so you say yes, even though it's the last thing you want to do. By the end of the day, you're exhausted and frustrated, not just with your friend, but with yourself too. Does this sound familiar? That's the cost of an unintentional yes. Here's the good news: saying no isn't about shutting people out or being selfish. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can show up as your best self, for your own well-being, and the well-being of the people around you. When you learn to say no, you create space in your life for what truly matters. You set boundaries that allow you to focus on your goals, nurture your relationships, and take care of your mental and physical health. And let me tell you, there's nothing more empowering than taking back control of your time and energy. It's like saying, I value myself enough to prioritize what's important to me. The people who truly care about you will respect that. Now, let's get into the how-to of saying no. Saying no doesn't have to be awkward or confrontational. Here are some practical tips to help you master the art of saying no. 1. Start small. If saying no feels intimidating, start with low-stakes situations. For example, if a coworker asks you to join a lunch outing and you don't want to go, politely decline. Practice makes perfect. 2. Be direct but kind. You don't need to over-explain or justify your no. A simple, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now," is enough. 3. Use the not right now approach. If you struggle with being direct and saying no, try saying, I can't do that right now, but let's revisit it later. This keeps the door open without making you feel overwhelmed. 4. Set clear boundaries. Be upfront about your limits. For example, if you don't take work calls after PM, communicate that boundary to your team. 5. Prioritize your yeses. Before saying yes to something, ask yourself, does this align with my goals and values? If it does not, it's totally okay to pass. I know saying no can feel uncomfortable at first. But remember this, every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to something that does. You're saying yes to your dreams, your health, your happiness. So the next time you're faced with a decision, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, is this a yes for me, or am I saying yes out of guilt or obligation? And don't be afraid to protect your time and energy. You are enough, you are worthy of boundaries, and you have the power to take control of your life, one no at a time. Let's take some inspiration from women like Oprah Winfrey, who have mastered the art of saying no and thrived because of it.
I said yes many times when I knew I should have been saying no, and then I would be mad at myself for saying yes. You say yes, then you're mad when they come back again. Because when you say yes, when you really mean no, people follow the intention of the yes. Because why do you say yes? You say yes because you don't want the person to be upset with you. They're not. You don't want the person to be angry. You want the person to think you're nice. They do. And that is why they keep coming back. Nothing is showing up in your life that you didn't order there. If it's there because you needed to see it. So how do you set boundaries for yourself? I was having trouble setting boundaries for myself for even strangers. So what I learned is that the reason why people keep showing up is because my intention is to make them think that I'm such a nice person, that you can ask me for anything, you can get me to do anything, I'm going to say yes, I'm going to say yes. So many times you will have angst and worry about things, and you will put yourself in a state when the other person really isn't even thinking about you. So learning that I could specifically determine for myself what the boundaries were for me, what I wanted to do, give my money, give my time, give of my service to who I wanted to give it to when I did, that I get to make that decision. And just because you get 100 requests a week doesn't mean you have to try to fulfill all of that. Just because you have all of these demands on your time and on you doesn't mean that you have to say yes. You get to decide because you're the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. And understanding that really changed the meaning of my life, in that I was no longer driven by what other people wanted me to do, but took charge of my own destiny, making choices based upon what do I feel is the next right move for me.
Remember, you are powerful, you are deserving, and you are capable of creating the life you want. You have the power to take control of your life, one no at a time. Thank you for tuning into Motivation for Her. If this message inspired you, please drop a like on this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.